Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into the MCP connector for Gmail, which is a Claude Master feature designed to solve what is arguably the modern professional's absolute biggest headache, inbox overload. Now, MCP, or Model Context Protocol, is essentially a brilliantly designed tool that connects AI directly to your data. So if you've ever felt like managing your inbox is essentially a second, totally unpaid job, you're definitely going to want to pay close attention to this one.
Let's start by looking at this single, pretty brutal number, 28%. That is the harsh reality of our daily work lives right now. The average knowledge worker spends 28% of their entire work week just managing email. Think about that for a second. Literally more than a quarter of your time is just gone, entirely spent sorting through the noise. But this tool we're looking at today doesn't change your inbox. Rather, it changes who actually does the reading.
Because look, we've absolutely all been in this exact situation, right? You just got CC'd on a 47-message email chain, and the meeting starts in exactly 10 minutes. Normally, what do? You open Gmail, you start frantically scrolling backward through this massive wall of dense text, and you try to manually piece together what was actually decided and, who owes what. It is just a chaotic, unstructured nightmare of context switching. But there is actually a much faster way. Instead of doing the dreaded endless scroll, you just open claude.ai and type in this single prompt. Search my Gmail for the thread with subject Q3 campaign launch and extract all action items mentioned, who owns each one, and any deadline stated. You aren't hunting for information anymore. You're simply asking the AI to cut through all that noise and read the chaos for you. And instantly, we reach the after state. Claude just goes in, searches your inbox, pulls the full thread, reads through every single message, and returns this incredibly clear, structured accountability list. You get finalized landing page copy, Sarah, due June 10. Boom. An unstructured pile of replies just magically becomes a clear list with one single prompt. No manual scrolling, no frantic copy pasting, and crucially, no missed items buried somewhere in a messy reply all thread. You can actually even ask Claude to draft a summary email right after, and it just saves it directly to your drafts. So let's get into the specifics. Meet the Gmail connector, Zero Developer Setup. This powerful tool is a first-party integration built right into the Claude.ai MCP ecosystem, which again stands for Model Context Protocol. What this means for you is that you authenticate just once, and the tools are completely live. It is a premium feature, though, so it's currently available on the Pro, Max, Team, and Enterprise plans. Now, I know exactly what you might be thinking right now. Is it actually secure to let AI loose in my inbox? Well, you can relax, because the guardrails here are really strict. It connects through Google's standard OAuth flow, meaning Claude only touches your inbox after you explicitly say yes. And the access itself is intentionally, heavily restricted. Claude can search, it can read threads, and it can save draft replies. But, and this is a vital distinction, Claude absolutely cannot send emails, it cannot delete messages, and it cannot move or label anything. You stay in absolute 100% control. It's also super important to understand exactly when you should actually use this tool. What we're looking at here is the critical difference between conversational inbox triage, which is handled by Claude, and event-triggered automation like Zapier. You want to use the Claude Gmail connector when you need on-demand conversational tasks, things like inbox triage, meeting prep, or summarizing a massive thread. You ask, Claude reads, and then you decide what happens next. You definitely do not use it if you want background automation triggered by specific events, like, say, auto-labeling every incoming invoice. That's a job for dedicated automation tools. And that brings us to the core philosophy of this tool, and really our absolute key takeaway for today. The constraint is the feature. The Gmail connector essentially turns Claude into a reading and drafting layer sitting right on top of your inbox. It does all the heavy lifting, the retrieval, the synthesis, the writing, but you keep the judgment. You keep the send button. Not letting Claude hit send isn't some annoying limitation you have to work around. It's a highly intentional design choice to make sure your inbox remains entirely yours. So I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought. If AI can read the chaos for you, what will you do with the time you get back? Really think about recovering that 28% of your week we talked about right at the beginning. If you want to dive deeper into this, read the full chapter and see 3 more fully worked examples, along with some common pitfalls to avoid. You can find the Claude Master ebook over at claudemaster.net. Thank you so much for exploring this explainer with me today. Now go reclaim your inbox.